Playing DDD 1 versus Brown 1.
Bring them in too, come on. Oh, everyone's gone now. That's so sad.
I don't know where my dark is. I'm gonna put this here. Bye guys.
It's only that I'll see you from here.
Not having deal makes a difference. Honestly, because the unders are so frantic. I'm missing like just chill unders. Everyone's cutting so hard just to get an under. I'm like, you could just stand still and then we'll just throw it to you. That's what I mean. Everyone's cutting like they're playing outdoors, and it's too stressful to watch.
Sam?
So, can you?
Oh, it's running, is it? Yeah. Hello and welcome. This is the Brown first team's third match of the day, and they are playing
DDD1.
Deep Dish Discs 1, the first team. So we, that is to say Brown 2, played the second team of Deep Dish Discs as our first match this morning, and we were able to get a victory out. Obviously, we don't know what their first team might hold. So I think Deep Dish Disc came out by scoring a very quick point there straight away. But you joined us essentially. There we go. So a bit of background. Two times in this tournament last season we lost on Universe. So it's a bit of a grudge match, bit of something to prove here for Brown 1. On the line here for Brown we have Sam Bruce, we have Vic, we have Lizzie in the orange running deep. We have Fernley, who's just put his hand up for a brick to start the point in possession. And over on the far side, we have Luke Wood. So Fernley with a pop pass around the back to Luke, who immediately scubas it over the top to Sam Bruce. Lovely little pass. And an excellent from Luke, causing the cameraman to jump out of the way. Little swing from Luke, and we keep that movement going. Straight back to Fernley. And then Luke manages to put it away with a bit of that, and a little bit of jostling with Luke, with Sam Dow, who was telling me he was clogging up the space just 1 second before. And here's the world's most enthusiastic supporter, who now has an earache from her own applause. But Vic might be coming up a close second. So right now the score is 1-1, and to kick off this point we have Zoe ready to pull, Meg, KK, Sam Bruce and Sam Dowell. It's unfortunate with the pull. It's inside the sideline, but it lands about a foot short of their end zone, so it will be a brick. Sam with his hands in his pockets, waiting to start by forcing. Meg here has begun poaching straight into that space. And we see them setting up a 3-1-1 ISO play. But Zoe is holding on very tight at the moment to their ISO player, so they haven't felt confident to put it to their ISO. Meg getting very close and intimate there with their handler at the back, a little bit of bumping, but nonetheless, Brown's defense has forced a D. KK there stealing the defensive interception from Zoe, who I think was all lined up to take it as well. But anyone will do. Right, so down the line there to Zoe, who puts it straight away to Meg. Lovely flow down the sideline with KK to Sam to Zoe to Meg, all the way down the sideline there for a goal. And that makes it 2-1 to the Brown. First break point of the game. Brown starting there on defence, managing to get the turnover and convert it. Hello and welcome. So we are here. It is 2-1 to the Brown right now. We've got Fernley lining up, about to take the pull. He's there with KK, Lizzie, Luke Wood and Vic Cook. So this is Brown 1, 2, deep dish discs, first team 1. So it's a good pull there, starting them off in their end zone. Good force here from Vic. Forcing them to go backwards. Vic there with that poaching in the lane. And forcing them really to not do a lot with the disc so far, but Brown have to keep up that pressure in order to keep it nice and closed. They are managing to get a few discs through the middle, which I know they'll be disappointed about, but there's been a call there. Looks like an uncontested foul call. It is an uncontested foul call. As he drew back the throw, which was going to be a knife to the receiver in the end zone, Lizzie was there, unfortunately, and collided with the disc. So they've centered it there. They're number 77 with a little pass popping it into a receiver, jumping into the end zone to land inbounds, making it 2-2. So we've seen some interesting play both sides using quite a bit of flow with an ISO or a weave kind of setup, and lots of movement through the middle up the line. Not seen tons of big overhead shots so far in this game. If you don't count the knife to the end zone that Lizzie collided with there on the reception. So there we are. Thank you, Lizzie. So 2-2, and lining up for the Brown on this point we have Fernley, Meg, Zoe, Sam Dowell and Dan Renhart. The pull's about to go. It's a good pull. We start in our end zone. We're running a 1-4 on this point, so this is the first time this game I think that Brown have run this offense. Little bit of movement around, in and around the space in front of the stack from Sam Dowell to really get things started. Zoe looking for the slightly more aggressive reset there and a swing to Dan Renhart, which opened up the pitch. Quite a nice look there. And we're back to Sam Dowell in the middle. Back again to Dan Renhart, who's making some trouble there for the defence. Zoe again not taking the obvious reset option, but instead putting it across, but it's a good one in this case. It's stretched the defence more, made them move. So we're back to Sam Dowell in the middle and Zoe popping it back and forth. Meg still making trouble. I think the Brown do have options here, and with this kind of patience I think they can go on to convert, but they need to. Oh, that's lovely. So Fernley there with the flick straight to a static Meg who's standing at the front cone of the end zone. So that makes it the Brown 3. Deep dish discs 1, 2. So line at this point, we've got Sam Bruce, Vic Cook, Lizzie, KK and Luke Wood. And the pull is imminent. So they did something a little different in the setup last point, Brown on offense. But it did work well for them. They're still using that kind of flow and good patience with short, still no big puts. Let's see how they do defense now. Yet again, they're running a 2-1-2 here, deep dish discs, where they're trying to isolate that player there. In this case, whether that was planned or otherwise, that's just opened up the space for the person to cut from the end zone pair and get it. Anyway, they've reset, they moved it up the line, and now they're on the edge of the end zone. For a little pop pass in, quite aggressive. I think Luke will be annoyed that he didn't get that, but it really would have been a great interception if he had. And that makes it 3-3. 3-3. So just aggressive little play there from deep dish discs. They were basically swinging it, quite long throws between their handlers at the back. Oh, they're just changing there because the Brown corrected them that this is a women's point. So they need 3 women and 2 men on the line, not the reverse. So on the line now to receive and start on offense for the Brown is Fernley, Meg, Sam Dowell, Zoe and Lizzie. That is out the back. It's going to be bricked. So again with this 1-4 offense, Worked well for them in their last offensive point. Oh, and Fernley's seen something that the receivers have not. So unfortunately he's put that out the back. It was quite a throw even if there had been a receiver, but I'm not sure whether that was intended for a lateral cut in the end zone or an up the line cut from Sam Dowell, but neither of those receivers were expecting it. So deep dish discs will start on offense at the front of their end zone. So the Brown running a very poachy match defense, I think. They're running a 3-1-1 ISO, and the Brown are just allowing that full all the way across the pitch swing to go in order to put an extra mark on the ISO. And now we're into open play. They're still running a sort of, well, it's actually more of a 2-2 now because they didn't reset that handler. It's a great take, but unfortunately that's the cry and the immediate down of an injury. And I think he might have gone over nastily on that because that was quite an immediate cry out. I'm afraid I think that looked like it might have been his knee. So I really hope that he's not seriously injured. It was an excellent catch. He landed in bounds, but he's immediately gone down with quite a cry of pain. So I think it might be that. Sorry. Or that. Yeah. It was. I don't know. Obviously, I'm over here, but it looked like knee, and from the way and the speed he went down, I think it might be quite a nasty injury. So, and the fact he's still down, and everyone called so quickly for injury. So fingers crossed that's not the case. Fingers crossed it's just a painful but transient injury, and that he's back playing soon. That's not what we want to see. So if you're just joining us, it is the Brown 1-3. Deep dish discs 1-3, so it's 3-3. Unfortunately, there's a stoppage in the game here with an injury to one of the deep dish disc players. No collision involved. He caught the disc. He landed funny, and I think possibly his right knee, but it's hard to tell. So hoping that he's back. So to talk a little back about the offense again, we were seeing deep dish discs doing big swinging movements in order to move it around, and the Brown were doing some of that as well, though I think generally the Browns swinging around at the back on offense was slightly shorter passes and just a little less pace in it at times, but both teams certainly have been using that pacey, quick through the hands, under and handler movement type of offense. We haven't seen very much in the way of big plays or deep cuts here. So here we are. So the Brown trying to put that strong defense on there. They're letting some of these go in favour of some doubling up, but unfortunately we've been beaten there on the line pass, and that makes it 4-3 to deep dish discs.
Oh, you're so funny.
So it's going to be a men's point here. So 3 men, 2 women. And lining up for the Brown, we've got Sam Bruce, Sam Dowell, Luke Wood, KK and Vic Cook. And expecting the pull shortly. That's the first pull I've seen today strike the building. It's a very nice venue with very tall ceilings, so generally it's not been too much in the way. But here we are, KK picking up on a brick, and it's straight out to Sam Bruce with a break throw. She's surely going to swing it to Sam Dowell and get the movement going, with Vic Cook with a nice cut there. Straight back to Sam Dowell, who's looking upfield. Nice little over-the-top float to Luke Wood, who can jump in for a goal. That's a nice look, nice little cut from Luke, nice point. And then Sam Dowell's seen it, and he's done the perfect little floating disc over the top for an excellent goal and an assist for Sam Dowell, number 31. So that is 4-4 here in this match between Brown 1 and Deep Dish Discs 1. Lining up for the Brown to start on defence, we've got Dan Renhart, Luke Wood, Zoe, Meg and Fernley. So if it's joining us now, it's quite a tense match. Both teams using quite similar kind of offense flow, and it's been really interesting to watch them face off against each other. Oh, there is a hand up there for a brick. I think that probably is legit. It was quite close. She was stood only a foot or two behind the line when she caught it, but I think here we are. So we set up there. They are running their ISO 2-1-2 this time. They have been running quite a lot of 3-1-1 ISO. The Brown opting not to poach off into the ISO space and not to double up on the ISO mark, and it was able to be caught. But here they are now moving it around the back, about a third of the way up the pitch, and excellent pressure there from Meg. Excellent pressure. Getting the clean D. So we're going to start here on the sideline. The Brown look like they're running at the moment a 1-4. Luke's picking up and straight to Dan Renhart in the middle, who puts it to Zoe on the side, gains a few yards and a reset, and surely a reset. Oh no, she wants to put it. It's going to be tricky, but oh, it's actually a lovely disc. It's a really, really nice shaped disc to a lateral cut from Luke Wood, and that puts the Brown up at Brown 5. Deep dish discs 4. Sorry, 4. Could be. So I was saying deep dish discs 1, 4, but it's just more confusing. You okay? Do you want me to call a medic? So really, really well fought game. They've been trading the lead. It's been sort of 2-3, 3-all, 4-3 to the other side, and so on. The Brown at the moment 5-4 up and starting this point on defense. So we've got Sam Dow, Vic Cook, KK, Lizzie, and Sam Bruce lining up for the Brown here. And Lizzie Plasm Scott to pull. It's a little shorter than she would have liked, but the Brown are there quickly to put a pressure on. They've run straight into that 2-1-2 offense, and they've put it straight there. The Brown again choosing not to poach and put 2 on there. Sam was unlucky not to get the D. It was a slightly loose throw, but here we are anyway. They've reset, and there's a big knife over the top. Can Vic put the pressure on? She's not quite there in time, unfortunately. She's had a little slip at the far side. I think she's okay. But Vic, after running through and putting the pressure on the defence, has had a little slip where the turf ends. But I think she's okay. I've never seen Fernley run away from someone who's actually hurt. So my fingers are crossed that she'll be up in a moment. Just a little bit bruised.
Get the gloves on. Stop boxing.
So that makes it 5-5. Deep dish discs and the Brown. This is the Brown first team, and this is their third match of the day. Have you won both your others? You lost last one, so 1-1, lost one. Yeah. So the Brown won their first game, but lost the last game. So here they are trying, obviously, to make that 2 wins out of 3. Luke Wood picks up inside his own end zone. There's quite a physical defence there on Dan Renhart, but Luke Wood's put it up. It's long, and unfortunately the defender has managed with good play there. He's tracked with Dan Renhart all the way. I see a little pat on the back there because there was a bit of contact on the turn, nothing intentional. But yeah, we haven't seen many of those big puts. We really have not seen very many. We saw Zoe score to Luke a point or two ago, but mostly both sides flowy. And then, of course, just to prove me wrong, they put a fairly big put to their ISO there. But Luke Wood needs to work hard here. He's got his player isolated in the end zone, but that disc was out the back, and despite the receiver's best effort, there was no way of catching that inbound.
Right. All no scoops. Squeeze it.
So Luke Wood picking up. The Brown are running a 1-4 offense again. We've seen a lot of underflow from them despite that setup, or out of that setup. Not very much. Oh, there is a call of some sort. We've got a player down in the midfield. Looks like a deep dish disc player, but I'm not certain what's happened. Okay, I think we've got an injury call and a substitution's been made. Hopefully she's okay. Doesn't look too distressed, so hopefully that was just a point off or so. And hope she's all right. Meanwhile, our man who was injured a few points ago is still in the same spot over on the far sideline. So no update there, I'm afraid. But he's sat up and chatting, so hopefully that's a good sign. So Luke Wood to Megan with a nice undercut there to give him an option. She wants to give an easy option here, but she's not got a lot. Oh, but she's put straight to Luke, who's made an excellent cut long, and Luke's managed to convert that. Megan to Luke for another point for the brown, and that makes it 6-5. 6-5 to the brown. So I think that's Megan's first assist this game, and it was a nice disc. She possibly didn't have the option she might have liked under or around, but seeing Luke's good cut deep, was able to put a nicely shaped backhand for a goal near the front of the end zone. So this is a tight game. The brown one trying to get their second W of the day, and been trading points all throughout with deep dish discs. So here they are to tee off with Lizzie, Sam Dowell, KK, Vic Cook and Fernley lining up for the brown. An excellent pull there. And straight away, I mean, they did put 2 marks in the ISO there, but unfortunately did get beaten there. Swing it out, movement through the middle, and quite a safe backhand there for a goal. I think the brown will be disappointed to have conceded one. Most of the points this game have not come cheaply to the offence. Defence generally has been able to put a lot of pressure on. So this is a men's point. So we've got the team lined up for the brown to receive this and start on offence here at 6-all. Deep dish disc on the brown. We've got Fernley, Meg, Zoe, Luke Wood and KK. They're calling 10. There's been a bit of discussion on this point. We want to get going. Both teams, there are 6 minutes left on the timer. And the timer allows draws and it's just finished possession. So both teams here want to get something out of this game. So KK receives in the end zone, straight to Luke Wood. Brown again running a vert stack offence. A push pass there from Luke to reset to Fernley, who then immediately gives it in the open to KK and back to Luke in the middle with an aggressive cut. Luke wanted to give that to Fernley on the open side, but I think he's made the right decision there. And back to Fernley now. Meg making an excellent cut. Out for the swing is sure to get that. Meg here looking upfield. She wants options. And KK provides. KK receiving and straight over the top there to a great little point from Luke Wood, who wanted it exactly that. He wanted exactly that throw, and KK was able to put it on him straight like that. So really, really nice from the brown, making it the brown 7, deep dish discs 6, with 5 minutes exactly left on the timer. Just brighten that up a bit. So this is the second. Oh no, my apologies. This is a women's point, and we have Sam Bruce pulling for the brown with Dan Renhart, Vic Cook, Fernley Everson, and Lizzie Plasm Scott. So excellent pull there from Sam Bruce, putting them right at the back of their end zone to start, and that. Lizzie's going to make short work of that scuba, which really was the only option they had. Wasn't very good. Wasn't very happy that they had to put that up, I don't think. But excellent here. Dan Renhart receives it on the open side, looks to break immediately, but instead there's a break swing to Fernley, who straight away break side takes advantage of a lack of foresight to put an immediate throw on the break side to Lizzie Plasm Scott with a lateral cut in the end zone. And for the... Does that make 8-6?
Yeah.
And for the first time in quite a while, at least, for the first time in quite a while, a team has drawn a 2-point margin. So the brown 8, deep dish disc 6, and the brown have used that opportunity when they've got that little bit of momentum, that little bit of front foot, with only 4 minutes remaining to call a timeout. Is that who we're playing? So with not very long left on this game, unfortunately that also means that there's not long left before I have to play for brown 2, so we'll have to pause shortly. But we'll try and pass over so you guys get to see the conclusion of this exciting game when I have to go. So there's a big pull there from the brown and straight back in. So we have Lizzie Plasm-Scott, KK, Meg, Zoe and Sam Dowell on this point. There's up the line there. Megan working hard but not quite able to keep up, but she's put enough pressure on there and made it difficult. The shot had to be precise, and it's a turnover there. So KK straight to a great little cut from Zoe, and Zoe puts herself right down there. Oh, unfortunately, her pop over the top was perhaps a little bit loose, a little bit not quite what the brown needed right then. It was a good look and a good cut, but unfortunately that's a turnover, and it's back to the brown on defense. Deep dish disc, receive it in an ISO position and consolidate about a third of the way away from the brown end zone. In the centre of the pitch here, KK marking. Meg making really, really good work there from Meg to make it difficult, that up the line option, to make sure there's pressure on everything. Oh, Meg's not far away from a D there, and we got really good pressure from the brown. Keep it up the brown. So Lizzie has dropped it, and then Meg had dropped to put a force on. Really good aggression by the brown. A little IO pass does not come off the deep dish discs. The brown putting really good pressure on, really good energy coming out of that timeout, and they've made just that little bit of pressure, that little bit of extra time concern for deep dish discs, and they're putting throws that have not worked. So the brown just need to make sure they keep the disc here. Excellent. Oh, it's unfortunate there. It was a nice cut from Meg. I think it was quite nice length throw, but just one of those drops that happens. So we've got deep dish disc picking up about a quarter of the way from their own end zone line. But with a somewhat sloppy knife throw to the ISO. They'll be disappointed with that, but sloppy seems to be happening everywhere, because that's immediate turnover with Sam Dowell doing that, and I'm afraid, sorry I didn't catch it, but that was caught for a goal. I think both sides are going to be disappointed with that point of offence. There were I want to say 2 turnovers for each team, and it did feel like all of them were mostly just kind of the sloppier throws that shouldn't have happened. We'll give some credit for pressure on defence, but some of those I think the brown will be disappointed. So right now the score is 8-7 to the brown. This is to take their second win of the day, so really important. There are only 45 seconds left on the clock, so this really is the climax of this game. We've got Fernley Everson on the disc, puts it under to Vic to Dan in the middle with a really nice option. I'm sure the brown are aware that time is on their side. They've got a 1-point advantage. Oh, and what looks surely a foul on the back there. I don't think that will be contested. Fernley Everson receiving the disc, still keeping it in safe hands, but calling a foul. And we continue the game with Fernley Everson straight to Luke Wood. Oh, it was a difficult... Let's go, Brown! So Brown have to be big on defence now. There is only 9 seconds left. Now, as a reminder, what happens at the end of the 9 seconds? There's a foul called. There is no foul called, no foul. It's a turnover, which means the brown finished the possession, and that means that this game has been won by Brown 1. The score is 9-7. That's the brown 9, deep dish disc 7. What a fantastic game. If you didn't catch all of it, it's been a very exciting game, trading points both ways. There was never more than a 2-point gap. There was only a 2-point gap for the last couple of points, and really, really exciting. I will have to go. Please tune in a couple of minutes when the Brown 2 will be playing, I want to say, Far Flung. Thank you for joining us.